The Federalists and Anti-Federalists disagreed over the size of the government and over ratification of the new Constitution. Their arguments are echoed today by supporters and opponents of large governments. The Articles of Confederation was the first constitution in the United States of America. It created a weak federal government where the states maintained a great deal of independence. Problems arose under the Articles of Confederation that led to the call for a constitutional convention to amend them. An entirely new constitution was drafted at this convention. Debate at the Constitution led to resolution of issues over representation and the extent of democratic participation. The new Constitution greatly expanded the power of the federal government. It created 3 branches instead of 1. It had a president that had the power to veto or block legislation. The federal courts that were created had power over the state courts. The Senate was not elected directly by the people, and the House of Representatives had fewer members than many state legislatures. The new Constitution was not as widely accepted when it was introduced as it is today. Opposing sides emerged between those that favored its ratification or adoption and those that did not want it to be ratified. The Federalists supported the ratification of the Constitution. They saw the increase in federal power as necessary to protect freedom. They believed the 3 branches would serve as a system of checks and balances to prevent abuse of power. They worried about too much democracy and that ordinary people cannot be trusted to rule. The Anti-Federalists, although not organized and as connected to each other as the Federalists, opposed ratification of the Constitution. They wanted the smaller federal government created by the Articles of Confederation. They worried about a president with too much power and not enough power for the legislature. They were also concerned that there was no Bill of Rights. These 2 sides shaped the debate over the ratification of the Constitution. The Constitution needed 9 of the 13 states to adopt the Constitution for it to be ratified. Debate between Federalists and Anti-Federalists in each of the states revolved around the increase in federal power and the lack of a Bill of Rights. Federalists argued for the Constitution in the Federalist Papers. These essays were persuasive and made counter-arguments to the Anti-Federalist ideas. Delaware was the first state to ratify. Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Georgia, and Connecticut were next. States like Massachusetts, New York, and Virginia were slower to adopt because of the lack of Bill of Rights. New Hampshire was the 9th state to ratify, and thus the Constitution was adopted as the law of the land. Once ratified, the Congress adopted 10 amendments and established a Bill of Rights.